And it was 2 days ago, on June 21st, 2024, that I was 9 months on testosterone. So we're going through this video again. I still don't have that many more updates, but just for consistency, we're going to keep talking. And we're going to start off with the voice reading. So here we go. Heading into Shifting Tides, written by myself. I'm just going to read it out loud, and we'll see. You can compare my voice throughout the year. An inlet of rock and sand by the sea, it is I that you see. For many years the waves lapped against me. I shifted to greet them from time to time, but in others I was shy, hiding my coast. They were an expected presence, a constant in my youth. Slowly, though, I grew tentative of them. I asked the tide, why scrape at me? She answered, nothing has changed. Surely something did, for now I feel pain. The waves grew taller all the same. In high tide I reshaped my front, while in low I was left to deliberate, where allies brought to my tidal gates. Investigating a smooth shell one day, I thought he looked rather plain, but then a friendly claw turned him over, revealing rainbow swirls and tear-streaked truth. I was too quick to blame the tide, too naive to behold the moon. A cove is always changing shape, forming a haven in each wake. An inlet of rock and sand by the sea, it is I that you see. Sweet. Alright, so getting into changes for the month. I think the voice is probably one. I'm not sure. I haven't gone back and watched my old videos. But I think, as per usual, I think some days it's deeper than others. I feel some days it can be higher. But I feel like lately I've been kind of like this mellow middle. And I can always make it like deeper if I wanted to, but it feels unnecessary. I'm content with this voice. I'm actually really happy with my voice right now. I think it still sounds like me, but it sounds like a deeper me than it used to be. But I still have this like, I always like lift up at the end of sentences or on like certain words, so it still feels distinctly me. And I will say that is one of the fears I had with doing testosterone, was like if it kind of changed like how I talked, or not how I talked, because that's not a bad thing, but if it changed like my inflection and stuff, and I sounded more monotone, but I definitely don't sound monotone, I still sound like myself. So in terms of changes, a lot of them are more like social changes than body changes. My hair is long, and it's everywhere. We got chest hair going, starting really, more chest hair. There's chest hair before, but now it's starting to actually become chest hair, like a man's chest hair. A lot of the hair, like on the inner thighs, is longer than I thought it would grow. It's reached the point of long, so there's definitely been some trimming going on. I've been passing. Well, I guess that's also a social thing. Well, I'm gonna start trying to save the social things for the end and do like body changes and then social thing. Because those things have been kind of mixing together recently, and I want to reorganize these kinds of videos. The facial hair is facial hairing. People have been pointing it out to me. It's, again, as per usual, it's hard to tell with these videos, but I've been letting it grow out for at least the last month. And there's pretty much just a line. It's always under the chin. It's not on the chin. It goes like on the side to under, and then back on the side again. But a lot of people have been pointing out the facial hair to me. Voice, hair, body hair. My actual hair texture, I haven't noticed anything. There's no real receding or anything going on. So there's that. I guess we can just go down the checklist. Even if there's not a change, I can go through it. I think my chest hasn't really changed shape recently. I think it was only that one set of months that I think my chest felt different and looked different. I don't really remember what it looked like anymore at this point, so I can't really comment on that anymore. I definitely have gained weight, and I still have more in the front, but I actually have been working out a bit. I've been more doing like cardio than like workout. But I kind of stopped gaining weight. So like when I first started testosterone, I was like 125, And then I gained a lot of weight when I went to the doctor. My mom says that the doctor always weighs more than you think. I'm not going to comment on that. But when I went to the doctor, I was like 160, 170. I was around 170. So I gained a lot of weight in 6 months. But I just got weighed the other day, and I'm at 138. So I'm more towards where I was when I first started. Don't know why. There could be all kinds of reasons. The scale could be untrustworthy for the last time I weighed myself, because I would not really trust that scale. But it doesn't really matter. Like, the weight isn't really what I care about. It's the actual, like, my body is changing shape. I can tell there is more muscle in some regions, and there's definitely more, like, fat in the front now. So that's, like, very definitive change I can comment on. My hips are bothering me a little less. I still have hip fat. I still have a lot of hip fat, honestly. I'm, like, feeling it right now. But recently, I think because I've been so happy with my gender, I've been starting to get more confident with my hips. So that's been nice. Not the most, don't get me wrong. I still don't like them from time to time, but more confident. Going down the line, atrophy has been a thing. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I think I mentioned it in the last one. But the atrophy has been kind of bad. Like, not like bad, but I'm very mindful of it, and there's been 2 days in particular where it's like been hurting. I don't know if that's very typical. I think it might also have to do with my condition that I have. So it's hard to tell what's testosterone, what's what I already was dealing with. But there was a day in particular where I was just feeling really, really dry at work. And it was like painful. It was like I needed something down there. So I might have talked about this last month. No, because last month would have been the day I moved here, so I guess not. I told other people about it, so I keep forgetting what I've said in the videos and what I've said to people. I think what I'm gonna start doing is literally carrying lube around with me. I feel it feels weird, like socially weird, to like use lube at work or whatnot, but it's painful, so you do what you gotta do. That's kind of the point I've reached. I think it's kind of like men using like baby powder in their underwear. I'm just treating it like it's that, because it kind of is. Opposite reasoning. One is you're wet, you need to get dry, and the other is dry, you need to get wet. But things have been a little uncomfortable there because of that. And I think it's part the atrophy. It could part be my own personal condition, which I don't think we've really gotten into on this channel. But that has been a thing. You could blame testosterone. Not much in the way of bottom growth as per usual recently. It could be bigger, and I just can't tell. I don't know. I'm not really paying that much attention to it at the moment. So, it could be a thing, could not be a thing. Shrug. Anything else? Emotions. My emotions have felt fine. I've gotten emotional a few times, but I've also been, like, more emotionally flat other times. I think it is just the normal spectrum, at least recently. There was definitely, I will say, this last weekend on Friday, like not this weekend, the one before it, there definitely was a time that I probably should have been crying, like emotionally, but I just felt flat. But it's also possible that it was such a serious topic that I felt flat and not emotional because it was so heavy. So again, I can't blame testosterone for that, because that could 100% have just been the subject matter being so serious that I just couldn't process emotions for it, which happens. So shrug. Either way, I don't feel bad about it. I think we navigated the conversation, everything, without that as a factor. So there's that. I'm really struggling to think of things today. Try to think of things that aren't social, that are changes that you get on testosterone. Voice. We don't have an Adam's apple, which I'm glad about. That's one of the few things I don't want, is I don't want an Adam's apple. Muscle. Fitness, I guess. I talked about working out a little bit, but I've not been working out that much, so I can't comment much about fitness. Body shape. I can't really think of anything else. Um, the libido thing is not applicable right now, so I can't comment on that. So I don't know. I think those are all the physical changes I can think of. I'm probably going to be missing a big one as per usual, but I can't think of any. So we'll get into the social things going on. I've been passing a decent amount. I'm not always passing, but I've been passing a decent amount. Um, I've also been more comfortable in my body recently on purpose. So I didn't start comfortable in my body. I started forcing myself to do things and proving to myself that I can be. Um, this isn't just a gender thing. This is also a how I was raised thing, and like the social, being raised socially as a woman. There's definitely some groups of people, not all for sure, but definitely some groups of people where it's like you're not allowed to expose skin, and here's like all these restrictions. My mom was that way. So I struggle a lot with doing those kinds of things. So when I went to Pride, when my friend said that he was going to be wearing just his binder, I made a point to myself also wear just my binder. I did end up putting like a little cover, so the front was just the binder, but I had like a long sleeve shirt, which in part was because I wasn't feeling very secure, and in part was because the sun and sunscreen and whatnot. I did get sunburned, binder sunburn. Um, but I wore my binder at Pride, and some people were very kind and nice about that. Um, and so I didn't feel bad. That's actually the best I've felt at the time. Um, but it also didn't feel good either. It felt a little weird, a little weird. Um, so afterward, I ended up like putting my shirt back on for Pride Fest. But that's part of the reason why I was gonna do my Pride video, but I actually don't have many pictures of Pride because I was wearing just my binder, and I didn't want any pictures of me in just my binder. So I didn't take many. And that's part of why I haven't done the Pride video. The other reason I haven't done the Pride video is because I went to Ren Fair this last weekend, which was kind of like Pride Part 2. So now I'm going to include Ren Fair as part of the video. So I'll get to it soon. I am busy this next week, and maybe the week after that. But soon, I'll get to that Pride video, which I said I would do. I'm so sorry. I'm very unreliable. But I did that just yesterday. I wore fishnets and shorts to the Pride United game, which I'm wearing that shirt right now. And I actually felt really comfortable, which I was not expecting. The last time I wore those publicly, I wore them to like a little friend party. I was not content with that. I was not feeling good when that happened. But yesterday I just felt fine, which is kind of fascinating. And then also at Ren Fair, I took off my tunic for a bit because I was sweating to death because it was so hot for having like a tunic and black jeans with fake leather boots and a cloak on. I was dying because it was insanely hot. So I took off my tunic for a bit, and I was just in my binder with the cloak wrapped around. And this woman who was working the dice making shop, and she's the one who makes the dice, which looked awesome. She said like, "Aren't you like dying in that cloak?" And I showed like a peek to show that I was in my binder under it, and said I'm not comfortable. And oh my god, she laid an assault to my emotions, like an assault on my emotions. She pretty much was saying things that were like, I love you for how you are, and you should be able to show your body, and I can understand if you're not comfortable with it, but like this is the place to do it, and we are all here to support you, and I hope that we reach a point in the future where you can feel comfortable with that and do everything you need to do, and I hope you get the support from your friends and find your found family. Like, she just kept going for like 4 to 5 minutes saying all those kinds of things, and I was like tearing up because this was like an insane amount of kindness that I was not expecting randomly from a dice maker at Ren Fair, just because I was wearing my binder. But like, she just went all out, and I was just like, oh my god. And my friends that I was there with were just like off shopping while this was happening. And then at the end, she was like, "You want a hug?" I was like, "Yes, please." And so we hugged, and she was just like, "My son's going through things himself, and I just wanted to say, like, I know I'm a complete stranger, but I just want to say I'm here for you, and I understand." And I was just like, oh my god. So that woman, godsend. Like, she just never expected it, but that was insanely loving, and I had emotions. I had emotions like that night reflecting on it. So that was a great moment. So that's part of why that could be part of why I'm feeling better recently. It's just I've been thinking about that, and yesterday I just put fishnets on and I was just like, I don't really care. We're just gonna vibe today. And to be fair, at the Pride game, almost everyone I wasn't expecting like everyone in the field to all be queer friendly, but like everyone had like the flags going and like the outfits and everything. I feel like even like the straight crowd was waving rainbow flags, so it was crazy. That's just a feat of New Mexico. For those who have never been to New Mexico, this is probably the most queer friendly place I personally have been as an adult, or even as a teenager. I haven't lived in California since I was a kid, so I'm not counting California because I've not been back. But this is definitely the most queer friendly place I have been because they have all kinds of under 21 queer events. Not under 21. What I mean by that, you can take people who are under 21, but what I mean by that is it's not bar or club culture queer events. Denver has a lot of club culture and bar culture events. Here has a lot of not bar or club culture events. And their sports teams have like jerseys that are pride jerseys year round. Um, and it's a really big deal. Like pretty much, I went to the Pride baseball game last year, and it was kind of the same thing. But like the Pride soccer team yesterday, like it was all out, and I wish I could convey just how many people were there waving flags and were supportive, and how many rainbows I saw. There's a lot. I have a video where I like pan across the stadium, and literally like every square foot, square 2 feet or so had a flag waving in the whole stadium, and it was attended by 10,000 people, I think the thing said. So that was kind of wild. I was not expecting support from there. I mean, I knew it was a Pride game, but wasn't expecting it. I thought it was gonna be like a small section of Pride people and then like the regular attendees, but it was like a Pride game. Everyone was there for the Pride game. Um, and also everything was in Spanish. Like this is a side note not related to my channel, but everything was in Spanish. Like all the cheers were in Spanish and everything, and that was also very nice to see because Colorado, no offense, is very white, very white. So it was nice to see that as well. But yeah, that was great. I also forgot another side note. I've been doing a lot of social things, if you can't tell from this section. But my tattoo artist, because I just got another tattoo, I probably can't show it right now, but I might show it another time. Tattoo artist was also very supportive and very kind, and we were talking about gender things and drag and whatnot. So that's another unexpected place, but that ended up happening, and I got support from there. And that also made me more confident in my body because, I mean, I always thought that getting a thigh tattoo would be like weird or awkward. But I got there and she was just so nice, and I was just like, fuck it, we're gonna get a thigh tattoo today. So I did. It's just like on my upper thigh. I'm wearing short shorts today, which is why I don't want to show it. But it's also healing right now. We should probably let it heal before we start letting it do things. But yeah, I got another tattoo, which has also been great. Generally, there's been a lot of support. I've been very happy. Like, I can't convey how much happier I am right now than I was during the school semester, because the school semester was so stressful. And looking back, it was a lot worse than it felt at the time. But especially towards the end of the school semester, I definitely had multiple breakdowns outright because school was so stressful. And then I passed my classes, and I had a breakdown from passing my classes, which was wild. So taking the summer to recover has been very nice. It means I've not been doing these videos and things like I should have been, or reading books like I should have been, which I'll have here. But I have been taking a breather and living life. And now more than ever, this is going to sound stupid, but now more than ever I feel like an adult because I'm enjoying life. I'm not just living as a student every day. And I'm going out and doing things, I'm meeting new people. And I'm reaching the point where I have so many people and so many friends that I'm actually struggling to meet them all and talk to them all and everything with a work schedule. So that's also very weird because that's the first time that's happened in my lifetime. So, a lot of social things going on, but for the most part, I'm passing. For the most part, I've been like feeling better with my body and being more confident. Um, I've kind of like slowed down talking about like gender norms and things to people. Like sometimes I definitely do. Earlier today, I got in a stupid comment slash argument about sexism, which I, looking back, it was stupid. But um, for the most part, I've been like calming down at those things. I still have a lot of associations with being feminine all the time, especially at work. Oh, at work. This is definitely one of those things, though. There's a lot less feminine or female people in the office than last year. Um, like last year, we were like 50-50. I say we. The office was like 50-50. This year, there's only 2 women in the office out of like 25 to 30. And I feel bad for them. And I went to my old intern group, and they only have 1 out of 30. And that's just wild to me because, again, last year we were 50-50. And so I have this want slash like social. It's because of how I was socially raised. I want to go over and associate with them because I want to be like, I'm like you. I understand. It's crazy that there's only 3 of us here. Like, I want to do that, but I keep thinking like I'm just another guy now, and I'm trying to not do that in an unappreciated way. So I'm starting to reach like the weird social things of like what it means socially to be a trans man, and what is appropriate to comment on. Is it appropriate to be like I relate to you or whatnot, or is it just not worth doing? I don't know. But that's the kind of stuff I'm starting to think about now because I'll be at work and there's just all these men around me. A lot of the people in my office are very bro-y, and there's several of them that I don't get along with. There's some of them that I've not even talked to, and I know that I would not get along with them very well at all. I'm almost like a little worried in the office sometimes with how some of them behave. So I'm feeling a little less happy with my office than I was last year. I definitely preferred last year's group of interns more than this year. But also I only have a month left anyway, so I have a feeling I'm just not going to socialize with the people in my office that much. But I'm going to try to talk to the 2 AFAB people in the office because I want to talk to them and see if we're friends and see if we're not friends. I mean, it's fine either way, but I just want to be like, hey, like, how you doing? And start saying like good morning to them. Usually I'm the first or second in the office, so I don't really get to say good morning to people because I'm already there. But whatever. So work has been interesting in that regard. But outside of my office, the people in my department, because I'm in an intern office, my department is separate from that. The people in my department have all been supportive. My OAA, my office administration assistant, she immediately was like on my case, like, is this your dead name? Like, I want to make sure like your name right and your pronouns right, and like she immediately was like, I will correct things for you. She asked about the name change process and stuff like that. So she's really nice, and she's making sure that like if anyone misgenders me in the department, like she would correct them. So that's very nice, and my manager is also nice about it. So I'm feeling very good. I feel like I can just live as myself right now, and that's what I've been doing. I've just been chilling and living, hanging out with some people, playing video games with my roommates. My roommates have also been really nice. I could rant about that all day too. So things are going really well right now. There's only 1 more month of work before I'm back in Colorado for the last year of school, which will be spicy. I cannot make any promises on my video schedule because it will be the last year of school. And some of you, probably not many, but some of you may be wondering what comes after school. Hell if I know. It's haunting me. That's maybe like the thing that's giving me the most stress right now is figuring out what I'm going to do after school. And I've been having a lot of those conversations because people are asking me all the time right now, like, what are you going to do after you graduate? That's a good question. I have some plans, but a lot of my plans rely on, like being accepted to certain jobs or certain things lining up. And also money. Money matters, and I don't have that much. So there's definitely a lot of things going on, and I'm not really sure what's going to happen. Um, yeah. We might do another video with my sister this upcoming. Oh God, this upcoming semester. Ooh, that'll be interesting. My sister recently graduated high school, and she's going into college, and she's had some identity things herself, which it's her right to share those. So I'm gonna offer to invite her onto the channel again and do like a little update on identities and whatever she wants to talk about. So we might do that. Uh, she'll be going to school near me, so I can visit her during the semester. So that'll be cool. And then, oh, in a few weeks is my family reunion. So this is like the biggest social thing, probably. Some of my family does have this channel. I don't think any of them watch it, but they have the right to watch it. I gave them the link and permission to. So I usually don't comment much on family because of that. But in a few weeks, I have my family reunion, and this will be my first reunion after coming out as trans and everything else. I guess I never really came out to my extended family as bi, but I'm pretty sure some of them know. I'm pretty sure some of them can assume. But I don't think it's gonna go bad for the most part. I think it's gonna be great. I know my aunts and uncles and their kids are all supportive. Like all of them are very nice. My aunt also said a very heartwarming thing. She was like, I don't care. Like, she's pretty much saying if anyone's not supportive, she is there to to scold them, and says that I should never not want to come because I'm worried about my identity. She said like that is the last reason you should be worried about coming. And I was like, okay, all right, I'm coming. I'm coming. I promise. It's family. And she was saying like family's family. Get here. And I was like, okay. The only concern is that my grandparents go, mostly my grandparent. That would be interesting. I still don't know how she would take it. If I had to guess, I'm gonna say not well. But I will say that it's kind of been normalized by the rest of my family, because my second youngest cousin has already changed his name. So my family's used to having a change in names, and they're trying to get my grandparent to use my name, Cove. Um, and then on the other hand, my oldest cousin, I think if I've heard my family correctly, is dating a trans person, and so that should also be somewhat normalized. Um, so my family on my mother's side should be chill, and the reunion should go well. But regardless of how it goes, we will probably have a video about it. The one caveat is it is in Texas, in public, and I plan to swim in my binder. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried. Safety-wise. I'm a little worried safety-wise, because there's definitely been some assholes there in the previous years. People who don't give supportive vibes, that are just, there, hanging out with their own families and whatnot. And so it's just a question of if one of those people would come up to my family and give them a hard time, or worse. I doubt it, but also we're talking about safety, and the anti-trans laws have been in the last few years, and I've not been there since that's happened, so I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have my swim shorts. I was gonna just swim in my binder, but I might like wear t-shirts or something, like just as an extra layer. It also protects me from the sun anyway, so might as well do it. But I'm not really sure about the Texas situation. It probably wouldn't be that bad, usually. Like, if it was Austin, I would not care. But because it's the middle of nowhere, Texas, I might have a little caution. So, we will see how that goes. Anything else? That's a lot of the social stuff going on. But been passing. I've determined that I don't want to pack. I don't feel a need to pack. I used to have bottom dysphoria frequently, but like even now, when I do get bottom dysphoria, I am able to more so play it off as less dysphoria and more my condition that I've alluded to several times now. So that's really not been bad recently. And again, I've been so happy with my gender that I've not had many opportunities for dysphoria to pop up. So, been feeling pretty good. Voice cracks, I haven't even been having that many because I've stopped trying to raise my voice on purpose. But if I really wanted to, Brad, Oh, that's terrible. So it's bad. Sometimes it cracks if I'm like screeching. I've definitely done some feminine like screeches recently. There's like a cockroach on the floor, and I screeched. And we were playing Ultimate Chicken Horse, the video game, and I fell, and I also screeched. Um, but I just find that as like part of my personality. Like at this point, that's just part of how I am, and I find it funny. Like I'm able to make fun of it, and so then therefore I adopt it as part of my identity. I think that's most of what I got. I think that's most of what I got. So I'll see you all next month for either the family reunion video, the pride video. Oh my god, I have so many videos to do. The family video, the pride video, or the monthly update in which we'll reach month 10. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're 3/4 through the year right now. Almost there. Alright, with all that said, oh, it also should be noted that I got my new testosterone, even though I'm out of state. I was able to get my testosterone. I don't know how I'm going to get my testosterone next month. I need to call my doctor and talk to her about it. So that will also be interesting. I also got my passport name change done. Check. So now there's only my driver's license left, and I'm not going to do that until my birthday, which is August 6th, so it's coming up. And when I finally get my driver's license changed, that's probably when I'm going to do the video, because I don't think I'm going to bother with the birth certificate, because that just sounds like a pain in the ass, I'm not going to lie. Now we're done with the video. I hope you all have a good one. Enjoy your Pride Month, because we still got the rest of Pride Month. I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.